What's up, y'all? One Piece One Life here, and guys, well, the new chapter is out. I'm not gonna lie, there's actually not much for me to possibly say in the intro of this one. Except, of course, if you're a JINBE fan, things are about to get really sad for you. But to understand what I mean, let's get right into it, because this is going to be the chapter 1147 review. But before we get into it, guys, please do something for me. Like the video, okay? Subscribe to the channel for more One Piece content just like this every week. And share it around with all your friends who love the series. You know what we always say here, let's get it going. Make sure you subscribe to me and my boys over at CSY. We are past 5K and have a very special project coming out next week. So the title of the chapter is The Things That We Find Scary. We being italicized because like 2 chapters ago, the chapter title was The Things I Find Scary, and it was talking about the kids. In Yamato's cover story, we see that they're celebrating with Raizo, who ended up being the Udon daimyo. And again, I no longer care about this cover story. So the chapter starts off with a flashback to when Somers first appeared in front of Saul and them. Saul is actually telling Robin and Chopper to hide because he recognizes this person as a God's Knight. And then he tells Robin and Chopper, yo, the God's Knights are immortal. There's no way to beat them. Please hide and take care of the children for me. Which means that the God's Knights were immortal even way back whenever Saul met them? Because I'm assuming that Saul met them when he was a Vice Admiral, or at least I've heard of them when he was a Vice Admiral. So that was well over 20 years ago. So in the present, Somers is just like, the survivor of O'Hara, huh? Well, I guess there was 2 of y'all. The Marines really do suck. And I agree. He almost notices Robin and Chopper shuffling in Saul's hair, but then that's when Gunko arrives. And it's not only Gunko, no, because tied up by Gunko's powers is all 4 of the Straw Hats that she soloed last chapter. Somers is like, you done rounding them up yet? But over the Den Mushi, Drampa is just like, you idiots, we're not trying to provoke a fight with Emperor Straw Hat. Which, can I just say, I love the fact that people are taking Luffy seriously being an Emperor of the Sea and like actually revering his title. Nami, JINBE, Brook, and Usopp are all restrained and incapable of doing anything. And JINBE fans, this is dicey. Cause I could have sworn y'all told me that JINBE is above Sanji. That, JINBE kicked Sanji out of the monster trio. So, what's going on? You even have Nami herself being like, JINBE, you were here with us. I thought we were cool. What's going on? And I'm not gonna lie, that's exactly the question that I had when I was first reading it. JINBE just talking about, quit making a fuss. I'm trying to think of a solution. There is no solution. You're done. The solution is to wait for the monster trio to realize what's going on. Cause listen, say what you want about JINBE, but one thing is a fact. Sanji would have never let this happen. Y'all know it, I know it, Zoro fans know it, but Zoro fans just be hating. To everyone who actually still thinks that JINBE is above Sanji, let me just say this. There's a reason that the monster trio, the real monster trio, was separated from the others and put in the underworld for now. Do with that what you will. Meanwhile, Brook is like, that woman, could it be? Which is interesting because Brook, where do you know her from? So then Gunko pulls up, creating a lance out of her arrows and points it at Brook, kicking him in the face. And Gunko says, you there, you are going to make music for me for the rest of your life. I own you now. Which, I'm not gonna lie, that's not too different than what happens in real life with record labels. So everybody's just shocked that she knows about Brook. And then JINBE talking about, oh yeah, one hell of a groupie. And this just convinced me that Oda doesn't really know what groupie means, because no. Somers looks over and is like, yo, Gunko, stop that. Just like Drampa said, I'm also not trying to fight an emperor right now. But then Brook has a very, very great moment. Low-key making him the MVP of this chapter. Brook is just like, my sincerest apologies, young lady. But my captain, Straw Hat Luffy, gave me a second chance at life. Ever since then, I've been solely devoted to him. Gunko's like, and what if I were to tell you that your refusal means your death? And then Brook goes, I would sooner embrace death than live without honor. Cold from him, absolutely fabulous. And again, it just goes back to the fact that Oda is finally giving shine to the Straw Hats again and actually writing plot-relevant character development for them. And you can tell that Brook is serious. He had Gunko's panties in her face and didn't ask her one pant joke at all. I guess because he could already see them, but still. And then of course, Gunko reacts the way anyone would react to that, kicking the soul out of Brook. So meanwhile, Somers is just like, yo, killing him. everything ready? And Jumba's like, yep, communication should be online, go ahead. So then Summer starts addressing the nation of Elbaf, telling them, yo everybody, I hope you can hear me. I'm sure you're wondering what the hell is happening right now, because there's all sorts of abnormal stuff going on. Well, yep, that would be us. We are the God's Knights from the Holy Land. And as he's saying this, we actually learn a bit more about Elbaf because we see that there's different types of villages. In the southeast region, there's an artisan village, so people who are like actually crafting things. And there's a hunter village in the northwest. So Summers is just looking actually pretty tough on top of a snake made out of his thorns. And he just continues, he's like, so, as you probably heard by now, we are currently in the process of kidnapping 10 of your Elbaf children. And we just took down a certain orange-haired guy who was trying to fight us, but obviously could not. In short, you thought that the kids were safe, but they're not. They're marching towards our goal. With everyone realizing, Saul has gone down. Again, I feel nothing about this. If you saw my last chapter review, it makes sense. I don't think anything's gonna happen to Saul. Then we move to the Walrus School, where Drampa is just like, alright, showtime. We don't have video, but that's okay. You there, pointing to Anj, you know the name of all the children we took, correct? And Anj is like, of course I do. Drampa's like, excellent. So what you're gonna do is actually say out each of the names so that the parents can realize who it is that we've taken, before snapping his fingers and actually waking the children up from their dreams. We cut to the children who are actually walking and they're all confused, like, what's going on? I don't know, we're not home. Like, we can realize that we're walking somewhere, but our bodies are being forced to walk there. I don't want to go. And then you just have Colin at the front of the line being like, y'all, we're being kidnapped, that's what's happening. Lock in. They're all shocked at this, of course, and Colin is just like, wait, I'm not weak like y'all, so let me handle things. As soon as he says that, a giant ghost and monster show up, and everybody's like, okay, Colin, you deal with that. Colin is like, hell nah, I didn't sign up for this. Actually, you just did. And then we come to the part of the chapter that actually disappointed me profanely. We cut to the giant warrior pirate ship, like the one with Dory and Bragi in them. They're trying to head over to where Saul was, but their ship has sprang a leak. So they're all looking down and some more creatures are coming up. And Bragi's just like, man, what is this creature even supposed to be? A beastly woman of some sort? One of his crew members is just like, kinda looks like my missus. Another person's like, that one there looks like my wife. And then they all come to the realization, wait a second, these are caricatures of the Elbaf mothers. Because they're realizing, of course, that if one of the kids said that their mother is their fear, then that's gonna manifest. And as they realize that it's the mothers, the men, the strong pirate men of the giant warrior pirates are like, anyone would be scared of them, even us. Dory, Bragi, Oimo, Kashi, all of them are like, our spirits aren't strong enough, we're sorry, we can't handle this. Are you serious? Where are the giant warrior pirates of yore? Now they're scared of, I'm sorry, I'm always out drinking, mom. What are we doing? And as chaos reigns, their ship crash lands. This is such a bad look. Because at the end of the day, what we're realizing is that even though the giants are the strongest army on the planet, being the strongest fodder still makes you fodder. So Summers is just relaying all this information. He's like, seems like the legendary pirates have just crash landed. Tough. Ayo, Mountain Beard and rapper Ja Rule, I'm talking to you right now. With your king gone, right now you're in charge. Summers is just like, alright, here's the deal. We want the warriors of Elbaf to serve as our battle thralls. We see a battle map of this part of Elbaf, just placing where everybody is at, and now it makes a little more sense. Then Anji is like, is this thing on? I now have the names of the kidnapped children. And before we get to each of the kidnapped children themselves, might I just add, I was very curious as to why Oda actually decided to give focus to each of these children. Like, each child is not only having their name introduced, but a bit of personality to them. And in my head, I'm just thinking, is this cause like, I don't know, there's 10 of them, 10 Straw Hats, are they supposed to parallel in some way? Is Colin gonna kind of be the spur that changes them to be like their own pirate mindset and be their own little crew? But anyway, the first one is Ilva, and we already know of her because she's Ja Rule's great-great-great-granddaughter. Actually, only 2 greats. And Ilva's just crying. Second is Scotty, and he's just like, man, we're just helpless. Third is Olaf, and he's like, it's just a dream, it's just a dream. Interesting enough, Olaf seems to be Oimo's grandchild. Then you have Colleen, and Colleen is just a tsundere for some reason. I have the worst luck. You got Mug, who's just like, man, I know I'm strong, but I can't do anything about this. You got Rania, who is uncharacteristically happy. She's just like, it's okay, everything will turn out great. You got Bent, who is the kid who said that his mom is what scares him. Johanna, who's just looking at him disappointed like, at least you have parents, grow a spine. Bjorn, who seems to be like the road of the group, is just like, just save me at least, I don't care about the others. And then of course, Colin. And as they say that Colin's last, we see that both Ripley and Gabon have met up, and Gabon's just like, hey, our boy sure is something. He's valued as a hostage. So then Summers is like, alright, now I got some demands. Warriors don't need schools, warriors don't need libraries, warriors don't need books. So here's what I want y'all to do. Y'all are gonna burn the late vestiges of King Harold, and in so doing, swear allegiance to the world government. And if you don't, we're killing each kid one by one. Now that gets everybody riled up. Summers is just like, Elder Jaw, choice is yours. At first I thought that Anji was being controlled by the hypnosis power, but she's able to speak her mind here, so I guess not. Anji's just like, King Harold worked so hard to instill these things. Plus, the past is super important. We can't just burn them all. Summer's just like, shut up, woman. Okay, he doesn't say that, but he probably would have. And in the last part of the chapter, we get parallel panels of Robin about to stand out of Saul's hair while Gabon dashes towards where Summers is at. Both of them just being like, I'm not going to let that happen. End of the chapter, no break next week. Y'all, this is crazy. We're about to get a Robin and Gabon team up against Summers? This is about to be phenomenal for so many reasons. First of all, being able to see Gabon fight against somebody like actually strong and see what he can do, why he's the third strongest of the Pirate King's crew, and we'll be able to tell from next chapter whether he actually has conquerors or not. So I'm excited for that, because Gabon is one of my favorite characters already. But even more than that, Robin's potential here, the fact that we're giving Robin a reason to fight, a reason actually connected to her and not just because, oh, well, you know, somebody save me. I'm absolutely loving Elbaf. This may be better than Egghead in my opinion. But what do y'all think about this chapter? I'll give this one a cool 7 out of 10. I think it was pretty decent. Let me know your thoughts and more in the comments below. Now that is the end of the video, y'all, but before we go, like it, subscribe, and share it around with all your friends who love the series, or anime and manga in general. Remember, I'm trying to build a community, but I need your help to do it. That's gonna be all for me. I'll catch you on the next one. And always remember, one piece, one life. To everybody who tried to tell me that Jinbe is above Sanji, read this chapter again. In fact, don't even read this chapter again. Read Wano again. People trying to tell me, well, Jinbe would have easily decimated Queen and not have passed out. You know what Oda would have done if Oda believed that Jinbe would have easily been able to decimate Queen? He would have had Jinbe fight Queen.